Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome, thank you for joining me. Today's camera angle is totally different because I'm trying something completely different and possibly lacking common sense today. It's November 21st, it's about noon, and I'm going to make some December dailies. And Tony asked me if they would be on Etsy today, and the answer is no. I have done some tests. One night at the beach, I think I timed how long does it take me to go from, say, a brand new 12 by 12 collection to a sewed together journal. I can do it in about an hour. That's not a journal that you want. At that point, it is pieces of paper sewed together, no decorations, no interest, nothing that would make you say, oh, I want to use that for my December daily, or I want to have that. It takes a lot longer to make it great. So it's Sunday, maybe they would be listed by Monday evening. Let's see if that's a reasonable goal. And I'm thinking maybe 2. I think if I get too many going, none will ever make it to Etsy in time to actually ship for December, right? Because we're cutting it pretty close as it is. I'm not gonna make a video of the whole thing for a lot of reasons. A, because I'll forget you're there and there will be big sections where I wander away from the camera and it won't work. And B, it would be a ton of editing because it's going to take me all day. But the other thing is I want to have the heat blaring, I want to have the radio going, and then I'd have to do a voiceover and tons of editing. So I don't think we're going to do that. But I want to talk to you about how I'm starting this and what my logic is. Because I think planning in projects, I'm not the kind of person that maybe 3 projects a year, but for the most part, I don't get out a pen and a notebook and sketch things out. I don't know how many pages of certain pockets I'm going to have or anything like that. But I have thought about if I want to make a couple of them and time is urgent, I need to pick a color family. So I either need to go winter, and if you look at these, there are some green tones in here. You've got a bit of that teal and winter, or Christmas. I can't make one journal of each today and get them done. It's impossible. And when I say put it on Etsy Monday night, I have to work Monday night, so there wouldn't be a lot of time. Maybe a couple hours before work, maybe a couple hours after, right? So I think what I'm going to do, as much as these Christmas papers did pull me in and I realized I have the 12 by 12 of this, and my friend Noni just gave me the 6 by 6, which is really fun to make your pockets and tucks with the same paper in the smaller pattern, like cards and scrapbooks together kind of thing. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with these for a couple of reasons. Some of these are open and I want to use them up, and they've been sitting around longer, so I just want to move them through. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to open these all up and I'm going to make a mess. I'm not going to think about what came with what collection here. I don't care. I will be thinking about the size of the patterns. Are the patterns so busy that there's nowhere to write? I'll be thinking about if they're directional. If I have trees growing, here you go, birds. That's not a good one to make pockets with, because on the back side I want to fold it up and my birds would be upside down. So that's how I'll be looking at my papers. It won't be, oh, I want 2 blues and 3 reds. Nope, don't care. I'm just looking at the paper itself saying, will this be good for a journal? Now, one thing where I'm a little torn, and in reality I would make them both ways and it wouldn't matter. This paper is blank on the back. Having a paper that's blank on one side is actually pretty nice for journals that you want to write a lot in, because it gives you a blank piece of paper. I don't think I have an Echo Park pad in this color family with a blank side. So these are all double-sided. That may be a little complex. I might need to stop and look through some of my pads like this and pull out a red and white candy cane just to introduce some plain white paper here and there. Mix it up. You can go through any of your paper. I have more Christmas and holiday than a person needs. I saw something, I think it was from Queen & Company, and they were talking about crafting acronyms. It was on Instagram. UFO was one of them. If you watch my channel, you know that's unfinished objects. But they also had one about your stash exceeding your life expectancy. And I've seen that a lot with quilters. I don't want more paper than I think I can use in my lifetime, because I'm going to keep getting new paper. New paper is going to come out, so I don't need to have 3 of this color family. I want to mix it up. So let's move them through. Let's see what we come up with. I will bring you back later this evening, at least once, to show you the progress and what I've been up to. Had I known, had I been planning that I was going to do December dailies, I should have been preparing ephemera. You've seen that a little bit with my bird journals, where I spent time on the couch or just cutting stuff apart. I haven't done that one bit, but I do have 4 iris cases and a pile of Christmas stuff over there. Christmas, winter, Hanukkah, holiday. Not even counting autumn, 4 iris cases. In there, there's going to be partially made embellishments. There's going to be cute little things that I bought because I thought they were so cute and I needed them. Oh, there's another tub in the cupboard I haven't even pulled out yet that has stuff I've picked up this year. So I probably have a lot of pre-purchased things that I can just mix in. Like here, oh look. Here's a cute little blue envelope that's supposed to be a gift card holder. That's an example of, just because I haven't been thinking about it for a long time doesn't mean I didn't buy a bunch of stuff already. And I have been making shaker cards for the candy collab. Last year, I think it was last year, I made a couple of December dailies that had shakers on the front, and those were a big hit and I loved them. They were super cute. So I think one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the cut aparts. I'm going to try and find cut aparts that I will use for my shaker on the front of my journal. Then I need to pick my covers. If you have watched me, you know that I like to tell people to pick their cover paper first, because otherwise you're going to cut it too small and then realize you haven't chosen a cover and maybe you didn't get to use your favorite paper for the cover. And then I'm just going to go crazy looking at the papers and go directional, not and we'll see where we are. Okay? I'll keep you up to date. Maybe these will never make it to Etsy, but either way, we'll have some fun and I will get better at journal making. And I also think it's important to note that I don't approach every journal making project the same. It depends on how many, what is my goal. If I'm at the beach and I'm going to make a dozen journals over the course of the weekend, I'm going to do that differently than even if I was going to make a dozen December dailies, which I'm not, and put them on Etsy. I would have a different approach, because beach life is all about crafting. Here I'm going to have to stop and start, and different things are going to come up. Also at the beach, my friends are super nice to me and they give me a ridiculous amount of space, even more than I have here. All right, stay tuned. Welcome back. It's 2 o'clock now. It turns out that it was about 11:15 when I made that video before. So we're just under 3 hours. I have started 3 journals, which is a surprise to me. I was planning on doing 2, but what I thought might happen, and we should still not rule it out, is that one will fall apart along the way or I'll mess something up. And where I was especially thinking I might have trouble was on the shakers on the front. I made 3 shakers. I like them all. That doesn't always happen. So at this point, I'm still putting together 3 journals, but I'm doing it kind of like the bird journals, where I'm focusing on the first 2 more so. The first 2 have a touch of red, and the reason that I have them numbered and separated is I'm trying not to duplicate papers in there. That's just one of my personal pet peeves, that I like to mix things up. So if I have 2 of the page with the snowman on it, I'm going to put 1 in each journal. So that's why I have them marked. There's nothing exceptional about either pile. It's just to mark them and make sure they're different. And I sort of work left to right. So if I have 3 things, I'll put 1 in the third. This third one, though, at this point, doesn't have any red. The shaker didn't, none of it did, so I didn't introduce any. I have made a mess. There was a method to my madness. Those are going to be journal cards. They're cute on the back, so they don't have to be pockets. The stuff over here that I threw this way didn't have, oh, this one could go over there, my bad. Some of these other ones, they have the packaging on the front. So they need to be pockets, or they need to have a layer mounted behind them, and then they could be a journal card instead of just floating around. I don't want you to see this in your journal. Stickers, some scraps just because that's where the cutter was going. I should have had my scrap junk pile right here because that's where it's going to end up, right? When I work over there, there isn't enough room, but here I could have had my scrap pile right here. This isn't at a key point in journal making. This is, I needed some water. It got too warm in here. Noni was visiting, so that was slowing production, as our friend Katie would say. So she left so I'd get back to work more. I was still cutting and working, just you have to be more careful if you're talking and you're trying to trim things to 11 inches or score at 8 inches and 8 3/4 inches. So now I am to the point where I'm putting the pages together. I'm not thinking about sequence at all as I put them in. Like, look, I have 2 pockets right in a row, the same. I'm just putting them together. If I happen to notice, then I wouldn't put these 2 pocket pages right next to each other. I would just go like this. There. Then I'll count them and see how I'm doing. My brain is already thinking I need some pockets. I like to I go through my scrap pile, it's very scientific, and I go, this is cute. This can be a pocket in the middle of a journal. And it would be very cute in that middle page. It could also be an unusual sized page. If I do that, both will show, and it looks like this encountered a red pencil or something. So let's put it in the middle and make it be the pocket. And we need another one. So let's look. These will be too small so that when I sew my journal, it won't, I'm only going to do 3 holes, so the thread probably won't catch them. I won't be happy with these. I could fold this one the long way, but it'll be too shallow. Ooh, I like this one, and I remember I liked this paper. This is almost big enough, but not quite. You get the idea. I'll find some others. I'm thinking about opening this one up too, because it has the right colors of red. The funny thing is, Noni brought me a giant pile of Christmas papers. She did the thing where she went through, took out all the ones she wanted, and brought me, it is this thick. Had I known that, we might have used Christmas instead of winter to make these journals, because now my inventory is going to be a ridiculous amount of Christmas and a good amount of winter, but still, I would have evened it out. Doesn't matter. It's just, sometimes you get more information later. My viewers have shared that they like to know how I decide things or what it's based on. Lots of times it's based on mood, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It could be, it was the closest thing. It could be that I'm so unorganized I didn't know I had more, which is very possible. It could be that I will make more because my friend just brought me another stack. What she brought me is at least another iris case, which means net, we have not decreased the inventory here. And my goal is not to use all the paper in my house, because you sure as heck, I was looking for a tag, but you won't be able to go and buy those $5.99 packs at Tuesday morning like we used to. And those store very well and last for years. So there is something to be said for a slight amount of hoarding. Not so much that we only have room for Christmas paper, though. Okay, I'm going to make a cup of decaf, and I am thinking about putting maybe some, I know, I have a whole stack of light blue paper that is 20 pound, so it's printer paper. I want to have plenty of pages in these journals and allow some space for more variety, but they're not really like a shabby tea-dyed look, so I was trying to think, what could I use? I see a whole bunch of blue papers over there, so I'm going to grab some of those, throw some of those in, at least in these first 2, because there's lots of blue. The second one, well, there's a lot of teal, but there's still light blue, so it should work fine. And then I was thinking, before I get too gung-ho sewing the journals together, I might want to put some trim on the pages. These are December dailies. They could maybe use a touch of lace or ribbon, don't you think? So I think that's the next step. Grab some coffee, some light blue paper, and then maybe some trim for the edges. Because I used so much cardstock, I can sew and glue on these pretty easily. If you use 20 pound paper, regular printer paper, or thinner things, those pages don't hold lace quite as well sometimes. At least for me. I don't know. That could be just a personal preference thing. Lace, yes, but not a big heavy pom-pom trim. Ooh, that might be a fun one too. Okay, we'll see where the day takes us. We still have lots of time. Obviously, this video is running a little late as it is, but the funny thing about it is you never saw these journals because they were gone by the time I made updates the next weekend. You may have seen some photos on Instagram, but they were just all gone. They were sold by that next weekend, and I realized I never showed you. You may have seen the teal one, but you didn't see these two. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back again soon. Bye-bye.